All right, guys, what's going on in the world today? Let's check Facebook, make sure we are live. Do we have audio? Does it sound good?
Sounds good to me. I can hear you.
All right.
I could hear him before, so.
All right, let me go in here and I'll tag you guys here in a few minutes. We'll let some people sink in here. So, good morning, guys. What's going on in the world today? What's up, Facebook? What's up, America? What's up, Canada? I have Blake Corey here. Got some exciting news coming from the West Coast. We have Gerbic training for Ironman, reporting live and direct out of Puerto Rico. So, I'm pretty excited today. Just finishing up a soccer game that got rained out, made it back home to catch up with Blake here. I have a lot of respect for Blake. Blake ran a big independent brokerage out of California. He's also a highly sought after top coach in our industry. I'll let him kind of tell you a little bit about that here pretty soon. But Blake has decided to lock arms with us at eXp. What's up, Blake? Welcome to the team. Welcome to
What's going on, Adam?
What's up, buddy?
What's going
on?
on,
man?
Yes, sir.
I just aspire to be like Mike, getting all ready, Iron Man fit. You kidding me?
Right. No,
I'm old. I got to do something, man.
So I've definitely watched you from afar, and vice versa. I know Mark Benefield, the director of our coaching company, has coached your agents or your ISAs, off and on over the years, and so Mark's told me a lot of great stuff about you. I followed you on Facebook, and follow you on stage, and the exciting stuff that you're doing there with Craig Proctor. But I mean, you're a very vibrant, thriving independent. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about your team structure, your brokerage structure, what you had going on, and then we'll get into why eXp. I mean, you could have really pivoted and kept doing what you were doing, or done anything with anyone. And so why eXp? Why this line? Help me understand your thought process when making the decision about joining us with eXp.
Yeah, absolutely. So. I mean, let's start where I come from and how long I've been in real estate. I've been in real estate since I was 19. 19, man, 19 years old. So right. This is going to be my 14th year. I'm 32 now. I've been the broker of the office since I was 23. So it's been a long time. And so I've been out on my own for forever. I mean, it's funny in talking to Mike about everything, the word cap gets used. I'm like, yeah, I know what a cap is, but I've never had a cap. I mean, I've been on my own, doing my own thing for all this time, and I've always pretty much been on my own because I've always been looked at as a disruptor in our community. Our community, where we serve right now, the people of our community, it's really a bedroom community. It's in between San Diego and Orange County, and we're a little bit inland, so we're really known for affordable housing. But when I came out here, 23 years old, right during the recession, we were doing some unique things. But we were coming in, guerrilla status, just right into the marketplace. And that really upset some of the older dogs that were out here. They didn't like this young guy, 23 years old, coming up and disturbing the industry. So I've been that way since I was 23, still that way to this day, kind of off to my own, but been doing that. And then about so many years ago, got connected with Craig Proctor. And Craig Proctor Coaching, have become the lead coach at Craig Proctor Coaching. Been doing that now. So I go with him everywhere, 2 times a year, like I was telling you, Toronto and Florida, California. And, really my specialty is direct response advertising and being able to help people generate, an overflow of leads.
Right.
So for me, I've always run, though, especially the last 4 years, even though I had a brokerage, I always ran it as a team format. That's just the way we ran it. We didn't really have agents in there just doing their own thing. It was a very specific structure because it was all about supporting them and giving them the resources to succeed. Because that's really, that's the company mission, is to help real estate agents and give them resources, tools, and coaching to fulfill their heart's desires so they can go out and live a free life and serve the people inside of our community. And so we've been doing that now since, like I said, since 23 years old, opened up this independent brokerage out here, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing ride.
23 years old. So brokeraging an independent office for 10 years since you were 23. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, dude. I think I'm younger than you, and you're a young gun, man.
Yeah. Well, I got in with Mike right when everybody was getting out of the industry, right? Like that's what you were just talking about right there. Like, 2009, 2010. I can remember when we had like 300 signs in yards and 9 homes pending, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "What are you?"
I remember that very well.
Right.
Sure you do.
Right. Everyone's like, "Why are you getting into real estate?" I was like, "I don't know."
That's fine, man. Everybody's leaving. You got to jump in.
Yeah, I didn't know at the time if it was the dumbest decision, but it's panned out to be a very smart decision. But also, I'm thankful for great mentors and leaders like Gerbic as well. Now, you had kind of mentioned that you ran your brokerage like a team. That's exactly how we ran our independent brokerage. So, people that are watching this, what's the difference between a team that's really assembled like assembly line real estate versus like a group of people working together? Help me understand what that means, or help the audience understand that.
Yeah. So as the mission for our company, we are here to give resources, to give tools, to give coaching to real estate agents inside of our community. I mean, that's why we exist. I mean, let's face facts. That's why my company existed. It was to give them all of that so they could in turn go out and serve people inside of the community. The reason we ran it like a quote unquote team, and it's the easiest way for me to describe it to people inside of the real estate community. When you look at an old school Remax, a Coldwell Banker, Realty One, especially in my market, flat fee brokerages are all the rage. And see, the thing though is with those brokerages, agents look at them and they're like, yeah, they're here to serve me. $500 a transaction. I can do my own thing, be my own person. But what they don't realize is that's the opposite. Mm-hmm. The brokerage, at a flat fee brokerage or a Coldwell Banker, Remax, all those places, they exist to serve the owners, right, not agents. Right. Because they don't give the agents any tools to succeed, man. Right. And so the reason we did it in that format, because I saw how agents could come in and work with our team, get hands-on coaching, mm-hmm, mentorship, leads, mm-hmm, appointments, everything they needed to actually be successful, to make consistent six-figure incomes, right, to be able to be free. I mean, because everybody gets into real estate, from what I've seen, for freedom of time, freedom of finances. It's like one of two things. Right. And so, but they go work at these other brokerages. It just serves the broker. It just serves the owner. It's not actually serving the agent, and it's not serving their families. And so that's why we ran it as a team format, because they could come in and get all those resources, mm-hmm, so they could be free. And right, so that's why I've always ran it that way.
Right. It's all about, time, value, and money. I love that. And so you ran your independent brokerage and currently running your team with specialized roles, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You could bring a new agent in and have them just focus on, showing partner stuff, or, buyer leads, or, we're working as an ISA to prove themselves on the phone to develop them as a buyer's agent. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody is looked at before they join the company. Right. Because, the number one thing that is important to me is the company culture. Right. You gotta be the right fit. And then then what we do is we figure out where you are on the bus. Like, where should you be sitting on the bus to make it the most enjoyable experience for you, and for you to be able to go out and serve as many people as possible. For some people, dude, that's a listing agent. Right. In my office, I call her my fiery redhead. Like, she is just redhead. Oh yeah. Dude, she came into our organization without a license. She started as an inside salesperson, and quickly, when she got her license, went right into listings, because for her, she knows how to go out and close on people. Right. Like, she knows how to go out there, conduct our presentations, and actually be able to get them to list their home with us, because in her heart, she honestly believes that it would be a disservice for them to go anywhere else. It would actually damage them. They would lose money. Their house is not as likely to sell as it is with our team. So she, from inside of her soul is so beautiful. She wants to help so many people. She just knows that this is where they need to be so she can take care of them. And
right.
that's where she's meant to be. And then we got some people, man, they love to go out and brighten up the day. They come in like a ray of sunshine, and they love to go help buyers fulfill their dream of buying a home, man. So you figure out where people are best fit and you put them there.
Right. No, I love that. That's exactly, what we did. There's a couple things that sparked a thought with me when you're talking about getting the right people to sit on the right seat of the bus, right? Like that's fueled and dictated by the disc profile. Is that a fair statement?
Oh no. Yeah. It's all about that. It starts with as important as disc is, we're reviewing disc right alongside values. Like you have to, that value alignment has to be right there.
I know we're kind of getting off track but from my own personal feedback, because I always like to see if people are in alignment with how I hire, how we coach our coaching clients and partners to hire as well. Like help me understand what you're looking for in a disc profile for a listing agent, that fiery redhead, right? Like that is great that you're talking about now, or somebody that just really enjoys working with buyers and they're going to be content working in that specific role on your team. And so what are you looking for with those two roles in terms of the disc profile?
Yeah, when it comes to disc, for listing agents, we're looking for high D, high C with I.
Yep.
And for buyer's agent, we're looking for high I, D with some S. Okay. And then from there, we're going right into the values, and we need to make sure the economic driver is high enough, because we get a lot of great disc profiles for people, but their economic driver is not there. So, when, in our office, when we need someone to do the proper follow-up, dude, if they're not economically motivated, they're not going to sit there, get on the phone and make the necessary follow-up phone calls.
Right.
But you look at someone like one of my newest buyer's agent on the team. Her name's Melissa. Of course, she was referred by that fiery redhead, and she was her best friend. She comes in, she gets her license in March, closes her first deal in May. And now to date, she's already closed 25 transactions this year. Closed already. She just closed her first one in May. So between May and September, she's blown the world up. But her economic driver is so high, and she's a high I with D, and she just knows how to go out, get people to trust her, and then she walks them right into the house that they're going to buy. She can problem solve very, very quickly. But to a background, Adam, that you and I come from, and that's what we talked about Mark earlier with questioning. Mark and I come from the sales training background, same place.
Right.
She used to be, her former job before this, she was an investigator of employees who were stealing, and she could be able to sit there and ask them a ton of questions to get them to admit to her that they stole from the company. I can't remember what the position is called, but you talk about knowing how to ask good questions. And
that's a good background.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm like,
she's a professional at sifting and sorting through BS, right? Exactly. Around it.
And she knows how to call bullshit a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, that training that you had mentioned, specifically that we train on, and that other organization that you had talked about, that you have some experience with and some background in, I think almost every single agent needs to be exposed to that type of training, man. Because if they could be, especially on the buyer agent side or the ISA or in the ISA role, it would definitely be life-changing. You would definitely be able to drive down your valid conversations to qualified appointments, if you ask me. So no, I appreciate you filling in the blanks with that disc profile. So we got the structure of your brokerage, the structure of the team, and you were running the brokerage like a team, just like we were. I think that model it is the traditional best way to sell homes. We were selling over 1,000 homes a year with 20, 25 active agents. And then also we had a call center behind that was fueling our expansion operations. And I will tell you that model works. I mean, I have a guy that walked away from 100 signs in yards from Century 21 to partner with us. And he was doing about 200 units over the last couple of years. All I did was teach him the same structure that Mike is teaching partners and coaching clients and stuff like that. And he would call me with fires or issues. I'm like, here's how we solved this in 2013. here's what you need to do next, right? It's like riding a bike to us. We already had the resources, experience, solve them constraints in our business to keep growing. And he's on track to probably close right around a year with me with eXp 600 units, right? Like that's amazing to me. He didn't come here, to attract or build this modern team or this network. He just wanted to sell more homes with his traditional team. And so that's awesome that you're going to be able to teach other people how to do that as well. There's something else that you had mentioned, before we move on here, because it really had me thinking from an email Mike sent me this morning from somebody he was working with and some feedback. Most of everyone that partnered with me inside of eXp came to me to help them build their traditional team, to help them set up a lot of the things that we've just highlighted and talked about, right?
Yeah.
We've definitely been doing that, and we've been, growing their network. And in this email, and we hear this a lot, right? When it comes to the cloud, I'm going to talk about the cloud for a minute, is that you lose culture, that your culture is going to suffer. And so help me understand how you are going to, have eXp, this little Intel chip, power your business with the cloud office. Are you doing away with your brick and mortar office? Are you going to keep it? Or, help me understand what you're going to do in terms of retaining and growing culture, and then what you're going to do with your brick and mortar office.
Uh-oh, did we lose him?
We lost him.
Uh-oh. Get him back.
He's coming back. All right.
Did he lose internet or what?
Yeah. All right. Hey,
there he
is.
Blake.
Yeah, I know. You guys just went away.
Hey.
You just go.
I know independents run on small margins to run their brokerage.
You guys are the ones that went away. I'm just sitting here hanging out, man.
All right. So
you know what it is? You know what it is? I live in Southern California, and today is the first day that it's cloudy and rainy outside, and nobody knows and nothing knows how to operate here in Southern California when it rains, man. So from what I heard you saying, it was culture. It was like, how do you embed that culture from a virtual environment and things like that?
Yeah. And then the second part to that question was, are you going to keep your brick and mortar office? I will tell you, every single person that came with, to me to help them grow their team, they kept their brick and mortar. We're using it as a nest to collaborate, to train agents up, to basically, shoot them out into the network one day. But a lot of people say the cloud, you're going to lose culture. It's not efficient. It's not effective. And so just help me understand, how you're going to work back with the cloud, and are you going to keep your brick and mortar office?
Yeah. So number one, absolutely. I'm absolutely keeping my brick and mortar office because I still have a 3-year lease on my brick and mortar office. So to answer that question, yes. Yes.
Right.
No, man. Because we created our brick and mortar office as a mirror image of the values of our team. And we love it because, inside of that brick and mortar office is a 25-person training facility that can house about 25 people. We have bullpen, beautiful offices. And mine's got a nice window right behind me that looks at the mountainside. So yes, we're going to be keeping our brick and mortar office. But when it comes to culture, as much as is important for, I found anyways, that culture is from people inside of the office, you have to create environments virtually that build that culture. And when you see the value and the resources of the people you're in financial alignment with, those people are building the culture with you, so then you can build it with the rest of your team and your network. So some people, when I made this move, and I just announced it, a few days ago, people immediately started calling me. People immediately started asking me, where am I going, and wanting to go with me. And so some of those people already have an office, and that's great. They're keeping their offices because they were independents as well.
Right.
Some of them, though, are leaving brokerages and do not have brick and mortar.
Right.
So what we're sitting there doing is, okay, how important is it to you now to have a brick and mortar? What's the size of your team? Looking at the future so we can strategically plan. Because, to be honest with you, every person's situation is different. Every single team situation is different. So
right.
To say it's important to some, it's not important is a false statement, because for some teams it is. For my team right now, brick and mortar is important. We're right at that stage of tipping the scale to absolutely blow up. So the more times I can be around my agents and I can listen to them make phone calls and I can help them with things, the faster our team is growing and doing more transactions.
Well, Blake, proximity is influence.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you need that proximity with them.
Yeah.
And that's what you're saying is like, especially in this infancy of, that's not infancy, but the size of your team. I mean, you need impact. You want to be face to face, eyeball to eyeball with them.
Yeah. And, for me, I was at the stage, you and I were already talking about, I was looking to hire a broker of record because I didn't want to deal with all the compliance BS that I was getting set on my desk. It was taking my time away from doing bigger and better things and affecting change inside my agents' lives. So that became a natural fit right there with eXp.
Yeah. So let's actually, talk about that a little bit. So you've been the broker for 10 years since you were 23 years old. You're 33 years old.
Man, don't you age me yet, man.
Don't add that extra year on. So, but when I look at how talented you are, and I look at what Mike has always taught me was saying in, high leveraged situations, none of us owners of our independent brokerage was ever, the compliance broker. Right. And that's something that I learned from Mike early on. When I look at, somebody like yourself, you're probably close to $500 an hour is your hourly worth. And when you're grading paperwork, it's probably, goes down to about $25 an hour. Right. So, just, removing that liability and that responsibility off of your plate, how huge is that going to be for you? And how much money do you think that that's going to save you in the long run?
Oh yeah, dude. It's absolutely, it's massive. It's massive from dealing with, the People's Republic of the Association of Realtors over here, like all about, fairness and compliance and let's all be equal, which is an absolute joke. We've already had our issues over there. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a headache. It's like, hey, it's just the other day. It was a $500 fine because the sign went up before I could get the document into the board to say, hey, we're not going up on the MLS for 2 weeks. I mean, it was literally 2 hours later after the sign went up, fine. It's just that kind of stuff that I'm done dealing with. I didn't want to deal with anymore because it's taking my attention and my emotional state away from helping more agents, talking to more agents, building marketing.
Building, expanding, working with agents, selling more houses. This is what we do, right?
Yeah. So it was a massive win because I was just looking at what that was going to directly cost me, and instantly looking at eXp, I was like, man, it's going to cost me less if I just move over to eXp. So why not do that? Because what I love about it, Adam, moving to eXp affected my business only positively, and what I mean by that is. When I sat in front of all my agents and we went over this, I said, our day-to-day is not going to change. Okay. The leads are still going to come in the same database. Okay. The ISAs are still going to do their thing. You're still going to do your thing. You're still going to go out and do buyer presentations and listing presentations and all that kind of stuff. Right. Nothing's going to change. And I even told them, I'm like, your comp plan, not going to change. Guess what's going to change? You get all these additional benefits now, and I'm no longer the broker, so we can work on more training and more business building. So it was all an absolute positive where it's like it was a no-brainer. But I'll be honest with you, bro. I'll be honest with you. I ran away from eXp for over a year. Over a year, I ran away from it. And
it took me a year and a half.
Well, but I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight up why. Because the people that were coming to me were always selling it one way. And if you think about sales, you already know this. Okay, am I still choppy right now? Like coming in and out?
No, you're
okay.
Good.
No, you're good.
Good. You know that you can't sell every single person you interact with the exact same way. You got to find out that why and that motivating factor, and you've got to then sell them the way they want to be sold. And nobody would do that with me. Everybody told me the exact same way, and everybody's asked me over the last 4 days, why did you get in? Why did you get in? And I'll be honest with you, man, that number one reason, that tip of the scale was you're now in financial alignment and in business with people who have already been where you aspire to go, and it's going to cost you nothing. I was like, what? And then, you know what popped in my head instantly?
Right.
Tony Robbins. He's all like, stand on the shoulder of giants. Stand on the shoulder of giants. And I'm like, man, that's right. That's right, man.
You were wise beyond your years, man. I mean, for sure. I mean, you're so right. Like at the end of the day, Mike's exactly 10 years older than myself, right? I'm 10 years, older than you. And, a lot of people call me lucky or, different things I've heard over my career. And I'm like, no, I listen. I've just had good mentors. Mike got me in the room with some very, very smart people. I.e., one of your comments you said a few minutes ago is you said, we're not building this business. We're developing people and people are building the business, right? And we're creating an experience that they want to be part of and casting that vision. And, Mike got me around Dirk Zeller early on and I coached with him and he, was coached by Zig Ziglar and he when I felt like everything was on my shoulders, I was actually coaching 30 agents on our team and I was launching a coaching company. And he said, as you get bigger, your inner circle has to get smaller, but you have to be able to coach through them people. And I was like, trying to control everything. And he was like, Adam, he was like, you need to develop people and they will build the business. Quit trying to do everything yourself. And that's how you're going to scale. And once I really got my mind wrapped around that, it was definitely life-changing. Something else, one other piece I want to ask you about, because I'm interested in terms of how much money eXp is saving you. I moved over another independent last year about this time. We saved him $60,000 with, getting rid of his compliance broker and his accounting department, right? Like, what's your accounting department going to look like? Are you able to trim down the staff with that, or are you saving any money in that, department of your business? Help me understand what that looks like.
Yeah. So before I actually talk about that, because that is important, but before I talk about that,
right?
I never went into this with how much is something going to cost me. You can't go into any decision about that. What is it going to cost me? What does this decision, what could this result in? What is the upside potential in this? Is this the game changer? Okay.
Right.
Because right now it wasn't, I spend money every day, all day. Things cost me all kinds of money. So swiping credit cards, that's never something that crosses my mind. Is the opportunity big enough? For me to shut down my independent and make this move over, the opportunity had to be in alignment with the core values of myself and our company, and the upside potential wasn't going to be 2x, 3x, 5x. This had to be 100x. This had to be the absolute life changer, and I absolutely believe that for me. So, but to answer your question though, Adam, what's it going to say? Number one, I'm automatically saving $15K a year on just my E&O and risk management right away, instantly. Yeah, so that was a big one because over at eXp, man, it's what, $45 a file, or $45 a file till it caps at like $500 or something.
$40 a file. $40
a file, yeah, until it caps at 500. My E&O, it was 8,500, and my risk management, on 100 transactions was 10 grand. Well, we're going to do 200 transactions. You're looking at 20 plus 85 right there. I mean, we're almost at 30 grand a year right there. So that was a massive one for me instantaneously right there. But aside from that, for all the people who are watching this, you can't look at this opportunity as what is it going to cost you. Dude, I've talked to so many people and that's how they look at it. And guess what that tells me? You haven't seen or heard the dream and the vision yet.
Right. Absolutely, man. You beat me to my punch, right? Because here's what I tell people, right? They're always looking like, what is this going to, you did, man. What's it going to save me? This isn't about savings. Don't worry about how much you're going to pay your broker or your brokerage. Worry about how much your brokerage is paying you, right?
Yeah, man.
And so this is about net money. And I tell people this all the time, like, this isn't the cheapest brokerage. It's not the most expensive, but it's the most profitable if you're a builder, right? And if you're going to play the long game. And so you're wise, man. You see it the exact same way that all the other top independents see it, all the other top team leaders across the nation see it. That's why we're adding teams just like yourself with eXp. Now, you talked about the people that you're getting in business with in financial alignment with the people that's already done what you have done, from like 2012 to 2017, we were ranked 9th to 12th in the nation and homes sold here in Little Wichita, Kansas, out of Wall Street Journal. And Mike had a vision, that started back in 2008, 2009 to really ramp this thing up to start building call centers and transactions departments and marketing teams and all of this stuff. And when I look at somebody like yourself that could have really partnered with anyone, you coach hundreds of agents, you're speaking on stage. I know you had a great relationship with Mike and stuff like that, but why put Mike as your sponsor? Why join our line? Other than us being able to help you sell more houses, but what else is there in terms of helping agents?
Yeah, so let's start with the background. This may take me just a couple minutes to actually get through this, but it was 2000 and I want to say, guys, it was 2017, the end of 2017, maybe even longer than that, that I first actually called your office, because I looked at it, and I'm a part of a mastermind group.
Right.
And I looked at all the people in the mastermind group, and I'm like, okay, no one in this mastermind group is in the top 50 in America. So this group is still too small. Like, I got to think bigger. There was some like 101, 150s. I mean, these are top 250 agents in America. That's great, but that's never where I aspired to be.
That's what we did in a month.
It's nothing. Like, you're a first place loser and number 2. Okay. So for me, when I looked at it, I said, okay. And I reached out, I took the top 10 and went right down the list. And I kept calling those offices until I finally connected with you guys. And I think at the time you weren't 9, the next year you were 9, you were like 15, 16, something like that. You're right there. You're right on the cusp. And so I called you, and then I talk to Mark, and we start talking and da-da-da-da-da. Right. And then I get on the phone with you, and it's like, hey, can I come, can I pay you to come out and tour your office? And you're like, straight up, no. I'm like, what? I'll cut a check. Like, I'll pay you. Nope, you can't. You buy our franchise though. I'm like, I ain't even got that kind of money yet. I'll take all the money I have and just come tour your office. No, I was like, this other, So no, but I kept tabs on everybody. Mark and I stayed close just because of our sales background with Sandler and stuff like that. And then when I saw you guys sell the company, I stayed in tabs with Mike, and then, I think I shot him a message one day, and I think it was when I was back, I was in my honeymoon last year. Him and I really started to connect. I had some free time. We were messaging back and forth, and it came, once again, it comes down to that Tony Robbins thing. Stand on the shoulders of giants. I've been solicited by coaching members of mine and other people that when I look at their business, that is not the business that I want. That's not the business that I aspire to be in. So why? Because your sponsor is your business partner.
Absolutely.
Above them, that's what this is. It's just your business partner. Forget the concept of, the 7 levels and all that. These guys are your business partners. They got to be guys that you can reach out to, and when you're in need of help, they're there to support you. So when I look at the opportunity of having a business partner who just 2 years ago was doing 1,450 transactions, number 9th Wall Street Journal team in the country, why wouldn't I, Adam? Why wouldn't I put that guy as my sponsor?
I mean, absolutely. You just hit the nail on the head. I got to speak at our last mastermind, jam-packed room, hundreds of people in this room, and they're coming to see how to attract independents or how to work with independents. Obviously, that's all we have ever been our whole life. And people think that they just are going to move to eXp, and eXp is going to make them successful because they're going to talk about rev share, right? Yeah. Or that's just an option. But you heard me talk about this a few minutes ago, and I say it all the time. eXp is just a little Intel chip that powers your business. Who you work with matters, who you collaborate with, who you're in financial alignment with, who you're coaching with, right? And building these traditional teams and these modern teams with. So I think you hit the jackpot with Mike. I've been showing him these numbers for damn near 8-9 months. Trying to work him out of retirement there in Puerto Rico. He kept turning me down. He was like, the hype, the rev share, blah, 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 right? And, finally, Gene Frederick moved right down the street from him. And Gene is doing, very, very well. Gene spent some time with him. I kept working on him. So, I'm thankful to get Mike back as a partner to be able to work with and triangulate with people like you. And so I think that you made a great decision with your line. I think how you're viewing it, your sponsor is your partner, and who you work with matters. So I think that you're spot on with that. So
yeah, and the biggest thing here was the collaboration.
Right.
The ability to tap into beautiful minds and amazing resources that I never had access to before.
Right.
And if I had access to it, it was going to cost me. And when I looked at what would this opportunity bring to my life and my business, and the return was exponential. So how do you not make the move? See, for people that are talking to me right now about eXp, and I always hear, Mike and I were talking to someone at independent brokerage down in Florida, and the comments coming back was about cost. I'm like, they don't see it yet. Let's get back on the phone. Forget the cost. This has nothing to do with the cost. When you look at, and I think it was an easier decision once we went through it, once he explained the collaboration, my business's core values and the mission statement to help enrich the lives of real estate agents. It used to be inside of our community. Now it's worldwide. I affect change on a greater scale than I ever could in my local community. So to be able, my commitment right now, 18 months, is 2,000 real estate agents, to affect the lives of 2,000 real estate agents all over the world. And I can do that through the eXp model and build not only family wealth for me, but build family wealth for all of those agents, to take it from a transactional business to a life-changing environment. How could I not get involved in this? How could I not get involved in this?
It took me, dude. I've been with this company 18 months, and it took me like 9 month mark before I really figured it out. I was trying to run it like the traditional team. My thinking wasn't geometric. And you just hit the nail on the head. You got to think bigger. You got. I mean, think bigger for sure. Like I'll just give you an example. Like when we were coaching, when you hit us up for coaching, what year did you say that was?
I think I got connected with you guys.
I think it was 2016.
Honestly, now I think back, it might be 2016, man. It might have been way back then. Yeah, 2016.
So you saved some money, and let me tell you why. So to be able to open an independent brokerage with us was about $50,000 to $70,000.
You told me it was 50 grand. Right, I ain't having 50 grand to give you guys.
Right. So there's a fire sale. There's a discount going on right now to get in financial alignment with us. And last time I checked, it's $149, right? That join fund. So you save some money, but let me tell you what I was thinking. Let me tell you what my goal was, because I don't know if I've got to tell you this, because we're, definitely, getting to know each other a little more. So my goal was to have, it took us 9 years to build an independent brokerage with staff, call center, everything, 10 years. I had 90 agents in 90 days. And I was like, holy crap, this is a totally different model. All because I referred the model to 7 people. And then I showed them how to run a good business. We made it duplicatable with building an empire systems and our expansion systems. However, 18 months later, and I took 5 months off, the team in the network's around 500 people. And I'm trying to get to know them, work with them on how to sell more houses, how to build a traditional team, how to be more efficient, how to change their life, how to help them build their modern network, their team. And so what one of your core values is, you're about to take a big bite of the apple to be able to impact and change a lot of people's lives, other than the vehicle of coaching. And that's all we've ever had before, running these teams, and people want us to share what we're doing, how we're building call centers, how we're selling thousands of houses and all this stuff. And the only vehicle was to coach with us. Right. But once again, there's a fundamental issue with leverage there. You're just trading time for money. Right. And then they suck you for everything that you have. You're not building depth to relationships. And then you have to reload with new coaching contracts. And this model allows everybody to run their own P&L, to, manage their own brands. Most people have already made, sunk millions into creating their brands and marketing and all that stuff. But on the back end, we're in financial alignment with the revenue and all working together and building together. And so I've never seen anything like this. And I think that you, sir, at 32 years old, are going to crush this. And you're going to be speaking on the mastermind stages with eXp, with Brent Gove's line, and at corporate for sure. So, I appreciate your time. I know we're kind of up against time here. Other than, some of the things that we talked about, how do you see you growing your network? How do you see you integrating some of your coaching, leveraging what, Mike's coaching some of the top CEOs across the country right now? A lot of these guys are going to be making announcement. They're getting in financial alignment with you guys and with us. And so how do you kind of see the next year going for yourself in terms of, a minimum goal, and then, what's maybe your stretch goal? Because after 90 days with this company, I damn sure had to reevaluate,
right? Yeah. So, when you look at it, doing what I'm already doing every single day,
right,
is going to help me even reach the initial goals that I have. Because you got to remember, outside of growing my team here locally, which we're always recruiting, as a team leader, I'm in the business of helping my agents and finding more agents to help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, essentially, that's it. We're already talking to agents
and retaining them.
Yes, which is helping. Which is helping. But outside of the local market, I'm involved with Craig Proctor coaching on a big scale. So I'm at 6 conferences a year on stage in front of 600, 700, 800 real estate agents,
right,
discussing the latest and greatest technologies and advancements to help them grow their business. Mm-hmm. And so being able to do that a lot, just the other day, I was in Anaheim, California in front of 300 agents that are Craig Proctor Platinum coaching members. And we were there doing a 1-day boot camp to help them change their business. Well, these guys were coming up and saying before, and you got to remember, I've been doing this for 3-4 years now. People would always come to me in Toronto and Florida, different parts of California. Hey man, are you growing a team down here? Are you going to expand your team down here? And Adam, I never had that ability. Like, the only thing I could do to help them was be more involved in Craig Proctor and maybe be their coach inside of Craig Proctor coaching. But see, now with the eXp platform, I can say, absolutely.
Right.
Come get in business with me. Allow me to be your business partner. Continue to do what we're doing here at Craig Proctor. But now you're going to actually have a business partner who already knows the system you're working to implement. And we can implement it that much faster. And see, that right there is a platform that I can infuse change to hundreds and hundreds of people within the next 90 to 120 days. Help them become even better, because most of them are at traditional real estate offices with brokers who don't understand the team model, who maybe don't understand the guaranteed sale program or unique selling propositions that they want to be able to utilize in their business. That they can't, they're limited. And so instead of making a broker wealthy, here at eXp, we know our brokers and who they are, but really it's our sponsors and the people above us that we're in business with, that we're calling, we're texting, we're masterminding with, we're collecting data from. And so that's really going to be, a starting point. It's naturally, that's what I'm getting already from people inside of that organization. So continuing to do what I'm already doing, it's just going to allow me to help and affect change in the lives of people just on a much greater scale.
Wow. I mean, that's a lot, man. This industry is truly, blessed to have you, as you and I kind of been communicating back and forth the last week or so, because I know you've always dealt with Mark and,
well, I wasn't paying you, so you weren't talking to me. So now you're paying me, and now you're talking to me. See how that works?
Yeah. Hey, well, the coaching money still floats somewhere, right? No, I'm blessed to be able to work with Mark, man. I've learned a lot even from him working with me, and I'm blessed that he decided to even come back and work with me when I sold that company, and he jumped ship to come back over. Leadership always wins, and I want to kind of wrap up with this. There's a few things that I just noticed towards the end of this call, listening to you talk. Like, I think I told Mike this a couple of days ago. I said, you remind me of myself a lot, except I really think that you're a better version of me. And I think that you're really going to crush it, like for sure. If
younger and taller,
you better looking, everything.
Better looking,
right, everything. If you follow Mike's mentorship and you work with us, dude, I mean, you're gonna crush it. But I like a lot of the things that you had said, and I just had this aha moment. Like, I might have said revenue one time, or something like that, but we really didn't talk about rev share, right? And I like that you didn't bring that up. You didn't make it a focal point, because this thing is bigger than revenue and rev share for you. Is that a fair statement? When you talk about
it's the Zig saying, it's what Zig said how many years ago, dude? Help other people go and achieve their goals. Yours will be right behind it, dude. My rev share, I know what the model is. I get that. Okay. That's the long-term family wealth. But if I help other people grow an amazing business and build that long-term family wealth for them, dude, mine'll come right along with it. But to get there, see, that's the thing. Help them build out their real estate business. The family wealth will naturally build behind it. Okay. Right. Everyone's focused on let's sell eXp, let's go do the rev share thing, blah, 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 but they forget that factor. I mean, you know how many people tried to get me, and you know how many people actually texted me and called me that were upset. I even messaged Mike. I'm like, these guys are upset who I thought were close to me, but what it was is you didn't sell what was important to me. When I got an opportunity to get in financial alignment and collaborate with amazing and beautiful minds selling way more houses than I sell, and I had that opportunity to do that and get in financial alignment with them, I knew they were going to help me build a business that could serve so many real estate agents and so many families inside of my community. And now with the end game, there's a strategy there where I'm not just selling my business for a one-time cost 10 or 15 years from now.
Right.
And I got to figure out how to go into something else. Okay. I can be able to step out of it, but not only off the backs of other agents. What I mean is we had set a commitment in my office that within the next 18, it was 18 and now it's gone 24 months. Within the next 24 months, each and every OSA inside of my office is making at minimum $5,000 per month, $60,000 a year in revenue share, so they can have that bottom level security. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, man. You got to fulfill that security need, and they will peak and they will perform on the highest possible level. But see, that's what was in it for me, man. I wanted to help them do that because they've been helping me for 5 years do it, and it's fulfilling my needs. How can I help them fulfill their needs and do that on a massive scale, 2,000 people? Dude, it's all about the legacy I can leave my grandkids.
We could never provide that opportunity to our agents on our team.
Never, man. Never.
We couldn't do it. This is the best possible thing for team agents.
Right.
Best opportunity on planet Earth.
It's the best. I mean, it's the best model for agents. I mean, for sure. But so was that 50,000 or 60,000 that you're trying to get them? What was
5,000 a month, $60,000 a year. $60,000 a year.
So I'll give you the number of what their network should look like. I predict rev share every single month to about $500, growing at 9%, 9.5% every month. And just off of what I know to be true from my upline, and my numbers are panning out, they're going to need at least 10 to 15 frontliners, and they'll need a network of 75 agents to hit that goal.
There we go, man.
I mean, that's it. So
the race is on.
Right. And through tap rooting and some of the other things we're going to teach you, I mean, you're going to be shocked. I mean, when I talk about I didn't even know what I didn't know. I mean, I'm still learning this year. Right. And Mike even, has been texting me wow, I'm still trying to get my mind wrapped around some of this stuff of how we're expanding, because there people were like, where are you getting agents to call? And I'm like, I don't pick up the phone. I don't prospect. When I talked about setting on that independent panel, if you run a good, healthy business and you're selling a bunch of homes and building good traditional teams, and you have great partnerships and they're running good businesses, who's going to be attracted to that?
Everybody.
Agents, right? And then once we are attracting these agents through taprooting and some of these other techniques, we have an endless amount of people to talk to. That's for sure. Blake, how can people get a hold of you due to the technology here? I couldn't tag you and Mike. I'm gonna have to go back in and tag you guys later so your guys' network can see this, and then maybe you could share. But
thanks for that, man. Not even tagging us. What's up with that?
Through this technology, I couldn't tag you for some reason, so I'm gonna have to go back in here and do it. And I tried to tag us since we were live, and it wouldn't let me do it. So I'm actually running a new beta, so there might be a new way to do it. But Be Live has just done an update since the last time I've used it. But that's beside the point. How can people connect with you to learn about how you've structured your independent model to integrate and look like a team model? How you're pivoting to eXp, or if they have questions to coach with you, or to look at this opportunity, how can people find you?
Yeah, dude, the easiest way, this is going to be on Facebook and probably be on IG. Easiest way is just to direct message me right there. Just shoot me a direct message. You're already in that platform. I'm tagged on these videos. Right. I'm tagged on IG. And if you're watching this outside of those platforms, easy thing to do, just go to my website, blakecorey.com. Go there. You can hit me up. There's a little message thing. Just shoot me a message over. But that's probably going to be the easiest way, because no offense, man, I get like 200 emails a day. Don't send me an email. And then
Right. I'm the same way. Like if I look at let's see how many emails I got.
And the bat phone is for partners only.
Right. I have 125,000 emails. I mean, I agree with you. Emails.
That's how you know you a baller, man. People yell at me all the time. They're like, you have 800 unread text messages. Yeah, because I'm out there making money.
Right.
Every single day. Okay. I have no time to read text messages. Okay.
All right. So hit you up on IG, Facebook, whatever platform that you're on. You're going to be at eXp Con, so hopefully we'll be able to hang out there. I'm super blessed to have you on our network. I know everybody in the upline is thrilled about you. I know Mike is really, really excited about your potential, what you've built in the past, and things that you guys are going to work on, and we're all going to work on. And so I just want to say, thank you for choosing our line and believing in the vision, and and Mike. And other than that, we're right at the hour. Mike, you got anything, parting shots? I mean, we've kind of been quiet over there, the mastermind behind everything.
Well, I'm just listening to you guys rip and roll. I just want to say, Blake, welcome, brother. Welcome to the family.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So
you're going to crush it.
Yeah, the race is on, man, to help more people. That's it.
You run a good business. People are attracted to you. And I think, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, this is something that people don't get. People join for different reasons, right? And to really understand what pain points people are having in their business, how eXp can help, resolve those issues, what that partnership is going to look like in the future to be able to sell more homes, be more profitable, and all that stuff matters. And so, what I've got back from you is ask better questions to actually try to discover some of these pain points or problems or constraints in their business to see how you can help them grow. And then maybe you might have a shot at being able to be their sponsor, or i.e. partner with them. Is that kind of like your overall arching statement with choosing your sponsors?
Servant's heart.
Leadership.
Go into this with a servant's heart and understand that if you are just helping people and you come from a genuine place of wanting to help people,
right?
Like Mike and I talked forever. He gave me some suggestions and thoughts without wanting anything in return. And that's the thing. If you're coming to this with a servant's heart and you actually want to help people, this is number one, eXp is absolutely the place that you want to be. But number two, this will absolutely change your life. Don't focus on all the stuff. The stuff is great and it's going to change life, no doubt about it. But for me, I came into this with a servant's heart, and that's everything. That's exactly what I'm telling everyone who is connecting with our lines, getting in financial alignment with me and you and Mike. Dude, that's where you got to come from. And when you come from that genuine place, it's a game changer.
I love it.
Dude, I mean, you're a baller. You've launched 2 teams a day or two after you went live. one of the teams, the guys follow me forever. I'm kicking myself for not reaching out to them. So, but being able to be involved in people's lives and really having that servant leadership and leading from the law of reciprocity and contribution and making tons of deposits in people's lives before you make a withdrawal is huge. Who you work with matters. People join for different reasons, and the financial alignment. Being able to find, good mentors to help you, level up, or you had quoted Tony Robbins, stand on the shoulders of giants. And so those are some awesome highlights from this. I know I'm excited about eXpCon. I'll catch you guys at eXpCon unless you have anything else, Blake. Throw them X's up.
See you there.
All right, guys.
See you there. See you in Vegas.
All right.
Later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Yep.
All right.